Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 2 review of Sleepy Hollow for the Kings of Television YouTube show. I call this a Ucast. It's just me basically doing a podcast review of TV shows, and it's on YouTube exclusively until I can figure out how to get an iPod, Ucast thing going. So here we go, Sleepy Hollow review, episode 2, Blood, something like that. Well, here we go. Ichabod Crane is running away from the horsemen, the four horsemen, who look awesome, by the way. And it kind of sets up the whole episode. He falls down, and he sees a vision of Katrina. Katrina says that the four horsemen cannot be resurrected until an army of evil is resurrected. So the first one will arrive very soon, and they kind of tease you with the face of the witch who is going to show up in the episode. The witch who shows up in the episode is resurrected by a resurrected Andy. It was very, very creepy. Andy Brooks is back. To all those people on the message boards, everywhere, every review I looked at, yeah, he's dead. I knew he'd be dead. Yeah, it says he's a guest star. That means only one episode. And no, you were wrong, dummies. He is like the Goldar of evil, right? Like in Power Rangers, you had, I think her name was Rena or something like that, and she was the evil queen living on the moon with the other evil guy, the evil king, and they would make these monsters, and they'd send them down to Earth, and Goldar would come down, and he would make sure the monsters are winning, and then he'd get his ass kicked, and then he would go back to the moon. That's kind of where I feel Andy Brooks is being used right now. He's the Goldar of this TV show, and he's actually really, really good at playing, soulless and dead. I liked it. It was a nice change. I'm used to seeing him in Harold and Kumar. I'm used to seeing him in Star Trek. This is a nice change. Okay, so this show is a little scary. Not a little scary. This show is scary as hell. There were like 2 or 3 more pop-up points in this show than there were last week, and that is scary to me. I like scary TV shows. I loved The River a couple years ago, and I was a little sad that it went away, but this show really gives it a run for its money. Andy being resurrected was a little scary, the devil in all of this. I think I'm just going to call this evil horned character the devil. I'm just going to say the devil. It probably isn't, but that's what I'm going to say. So the devil resurrects Andy and gives him an item to bring back the first evil into the world, which we find out is Serilda of Abaddon, the high priestess witch of the evil coven we learned about last week. Turns out that Serilda of Abaddon was bound by magic that was made by Katrina. So she was weakened by Katrina's magic. The townspeople caught her, light her on fire, got rid of her, and they did not bury her body because witches did not get that kind of special treatment when they were burned at the stake. So her bones were thrown in the tunnel. There would be a lot of story about Katrina in this episode, and again, it leaves me wondering, is Katrina going to be one of the characters that we see recurring in this series? Moving on to Abby and Crane in this episode, they had a lot of really awesome, witty banter during this episode, and if you're going to watch this show for anything, it should be about the witty banter that they do use. At one point, they were in the car, and she was trying to figure out more about Katrina and his past, and he was kind of deflecting, saying, "Oh, look at this receipt. You're paying 10% tax. We started the Revolutionary War on 2%. So he's just really on par tonight. I really, really like how Crane is portraying his character. I love this version of Ichabod Crane. I liked the Johnny Depp version very much as I can remember. I haven't seen it in a couple of years, but I really liked that version, and I'm really, really loving this version. I really like this Ichabod Crane. At some point in this episode, he runs into Abby's ex. They have a little bit of a spat, I guess you could say. So I'm wondering if that will be a future storyline. Abby is kind of having issues with believability in this episode. She doesn't know if she's seeing things correctly, and Crane is like, "What are you talking about? Everybody saw it. The 2 policemen saw it. What are you talking about? You saw it. You know what you saw." And she's like, "Yeah, but no. Yes, but no." She's very wishy-washy during the whole episode, and it is kind of learned that the 2 security guards from last week who shot at the Headless Horseman recanted their statements because they know that if they were investigated on their statements, they would probably be suspended, and they did not want to do that, so they recanted their statements. So Abby, throughout this episode, is struggling if is this real or is this fake? And she doesn't really know until about halfway through, until she sees the witch. And at the end of this show, it's Andy and the witch versus Ichabod Crane and Abby. It's again another tag team match, just like last week. So the witch throughout this episode has been gathering the flesh of the people, the descendants of the people who burned her at the stake. She gets one guy in a firebomb on the side of the highway, and it looks as if she's going to go after a little boy, but it turns out that the boy was adopted, and she just breaks into the house, scares a little boy, scares her parents, and just takes the ashes of the poor adopted boy's father, which is very, very sad, but... So she has all the flesh she needs. She has her bones in the tunnels. She gets resurrected. So her and Andy have succeeded. She is resurrected, and now it's time for the tag team match between Ichabod and Abby and Andy and the witch. Andy would get away here. Now, I don't know what Andy's deal is. Is he a zombie? Is he a ghost? What's going on here? Is he just evil that can disappear out of nowhere? Because at one point, he's behind Abby, and Abby is just with the gun drawn, kind of, being cautious. And then as soon as she turns around, he's gone. So is he a zombie? Is he a ghost? What's going on? So like I said, this show is leaving a lot of questions to be asked, and it's very interesting. After they blow the witch up, which is it was kind of a lame first boss battle, I guess I would say. I'm a big gamer, and if this were a video game, I'd say, yeah, it was kind of a weak opening boss battle. But, what are you going to do? You got to start somewhere, and the show can really only go up from here. The poor witch, not a whole lot for her. I didn't really feel a whole lot. Crane and Abby did a really good job with their emotions in this episode. Crane is wondering if Katrina can be brought back from where the witch said that Katrina was, which is in between two worlds. She's stuck there. So, again, just like I said last week with Jenny, this week I'm saying, is Katrina going to also be a key player by the end of the season? And it's kind of, well, she's a key player now, but in real life, is she going to be resurrected? We do learn a little bit about Abby's past in this episode. Abby was a bad person after she saw the white tree and the crosses and the evil monster. And Jenny and her took to a life of drugs, and Jenny went to an institution. She went to an institution. Oh, Jenny went to the institution, and Abby did drugs, got mixed up into the wrong crowd, broke into a pharmacy. The sheriff changed her life, and there was a really good apple pie scene here that I really, really liked. And, I'm kind of hoping that the sheriff plays a Dexter's dad kind of role in the show Dexter. I would like to see him more and influence Abby's decisions a little more. So that was really good, really good. After the witch is done, Abby and Crane are at the sheriff's office. Crane goes off to do something, and Abby has a little bit of a delusion here with the sheriff in his old office. And it was kind of sad, but, good at the same time. Abby asks him for advice, what she should do, and he kind of plays around her, and she gets a little frustrated. And then at the end of their really good conversation, he says, "Don't be afraid of 49." And you're like, ooh, what's 49? And, if this show didn't get good enough, they immediately tell you what 49 is. They cut to Jenny in room 49 of the institution, working out like a son of a bitch, and then she's ordered to take some medication. She takes it, not really though. So the nurse leaves, she spits it out, crumbles it up, and she's starting to work out again. And as she's working out behind her, you see the devil, or the devil evil. So it's very, very interesting. It leaves a lot to be wanted, and I thought it was a really, really good episode. This episode I didn't go scene by scene. That's the only thing I do for these types of shows is the pilots. So yeah, I just kind of want to go over how these characters changed, what was the main storyline of the episode, and what we can look forward to and what I'm really liking. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. Keep it about 10 minutes instead of 20 or something like that. Okay, so next Monday we do have The Sandman coming, and this is really, really exciting. I don't really know much about The Sandman, but this looks really cool. A Freddy Krueger-like episode next week, and again, a very good episode. Out of 10, I'm going to give it a high 8. I think it was very, very well done. This has been a Kings of Television review. Very good episode. very good TV show, and I think it might be the best one so far of the fall reviews. So let me know what you think in the comments box below. Go ahead, subscribe, favorite, comment, do what you got to do. I am Derek D. Ginger King. For the kings of television, I am checking out.